Noor,
What's up?
can you hear me?
Yeah, can you?
I can hear you. Yes, yes. What's up, everybody? All right. Looks like we got some people. I'm just gonna let it go for another minute till we get some more people in
Mhm.
this room. I'm excited to talk
Cool.
to you today.
Yeah, me too.
What time is it over there?
It's 10 p.m.
Oh, okay. We're keeping you up a little late. Actually,
Yeah,
this
it's
is what
okay.
this is when producers actually make beats. This is the time, right? Around this time.
Yeah, yeah, it's actually very cool and it's perfect for me because I have uni in the morning and then I have like a completely different life after that.
Cool. Okay, hold on. So something's not right. I got to change something real quick. Hold on. Let me figure this out. Okay. And then let me figure this out real quick. Let me figure this out real quick. I
That's more
think.
like
Oh
it.
wait. Okay. Wait. That's better, right? That's
That's more
better.
like it.
That's better. That's better. What's up, everybody? This is the CEO of BeatStars, A Batchon, and I'm here with the awesome, cool, young, hip producer, Nour Khel, based out of Nazareth. Welcome to Sunday Sounds, Nour. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
If people don't know, if people do not know, Noor is from my homeland of Palestine. That's where my family's from. So I had to represent today. I got my hatta, I got my Palestine hat, and I'm
Cool.
feeling good on this Sunday. Noor, tell
Perfect.
us tell us a little bit about tell us a little bit about yourself. Talk to us. Give us your story. Who are you? Where are you
Um,
from?
so my name is Noor. I'm 21 years old from Palestine, Nazareth. And I'm a music producer and composer. I study composition, arrangements, and conducting. But hip hop is also a huge part of me, so I got these two lives in the music industry. um, I guess I started like at a pretty young age, taking piano lessons, especially coming from like a musician's family. Uh, which is easier for me because like I don't have a sad story about like trying to convince my parents like music is a real job.
Yeah.
No, like I feel lucky about that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When I got into music, my family were like, "What the hell is this kid doing? Go make money. Go do something. Go do something better with yourself." If people don't know, like people from the Middle East, people from Palestine, we have so many beautiful things about our culture and so many beautiful traditions about our people. Is that entrepreneurism is like is it's in our DNA. So everyone's an entrepreneur, whether it's like owning a small business or getting into anything that you've built yourself. And so I luck I mean, you got lucky. You grew up in a household with family members that appreciated music and understood the importance of what it is in who we are and how we express ourselves. And I had to fight my family, but it's okay. They finally listened. I fought hard enough, and it worked out okay, I think. So
That's what
but
matters.
yeah, it worked out okay. They still love me. But yeah, I'd love to learn more about. So you come from a musical background and family. Your brother's a producer. Your dad is a composer and arranger, and you come from this like lineage of music family. Like that, it's pretty crazy. So it's like
Yeah.
when people think about making music now, as they get older, and you hear a lot of stories about kids, young people, like, oh, I just started making beats 15 years old, 16 years old, 17 years old, and that's
Yeah.
kind of when they first got their foot in the door. But how long have you been like making music? Can you tell us?
Um, so actually, the first time I composed something, um, I was into classical piano. Like I did not do any covers. I was not introduced to this world. And I was about like 14, 15. And that's when I had a friend and she sings and she came over and she was like, why, let's do a cover. you play the piano, let's do something.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did this cover, and then there came like a part of the song. She didn't memorize the words to it, and we did not know what to do. We were like trying to record it and everything. And so I came up with this melody and these lyrics that were like, and then I knew after that, okay, maybe
How old were you then, you said?
like 15,
Oh, you were
something
15.
like that.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it.
But I haven't started producing until like 2 years ago. Doing it professionally last year.
But you were playing instruments though at a much younger
Oh
age.
yeah. I think I started playing the piano ever since I was like 4. Yeah.
And would you say, has it always been in your life, like playing piano? Has like from that age, like it never? Did you ever have like moments in your life where you're like, oh, I played piano for a couple years and then I threw it away for a couple years and came back to it? Was that the case, or were you always pretty consistently always kind of like piano was there?
Oh no, at first I wasn't consistent at all. Like I think I started at 4 years old. My aunt teaches piano, so I had classes. Like I took piano lessons with her for 2 years, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't like it. And then the year after, I wanted to go back. I fell in love with the piano again, and then a few years later, I started just making like concerts and everything. Like it was a huge deal for me, like the piano part of my life. And then I took flute lessons as well. But that's the thing. Like I didn't want to only be a part of this classical world or Middle Eastern music or jazz. Like hip hop was a huge part of me, and that's when I decided to join BeatStars, because before BeatStars, I was producing for like a few local Middle Eastern artists, and even though I like that kind of music a lot, I just wanted more than that. Like hip hop was a huge part of me, and I wanted to share that, and I didn't know who to go to, and so I did my little research and found BeatStars.
Cool. Well, listen, before we get into any more questions, I want the people to hear some of your music. So I'm gonna play a track which to me is my favorite so far, but I haven't heard some of the new stuff, so I could have a new favorite. But let's see what the folks think about this one. This one's called Dubai Nights. Let me get into it, and then try to mute yourself, Nour, while we're playing music, so there's no feedback. Everyone here is good out there?
Nour on the track. On the track. track.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like the comments are going crazy over here.
Thank you, guys.
Wow. Okay, dope track, Noor. I love that track. You already know that. I've already told you a million times.
It's my favorite too.
Yeah.
I was actually mumbling in Arabic. Can you tell?
Oh, I know what that, I was gonna say. Like, I know what you're saying. You're saying shalisad, right? Shalisad, and if people don't know what that means, tell people what that means.
It means tell me what happened.
Yeah.
And it's just like so random, but it just clicked for me. And then I was like, wait, so I want to upload that to BeatStars. I should translate it, right? Like I should
No, don't.
I should mumble that in English. But then I tried that, it did not work, so I just kept it. I was like,
It's fire in Arabic. It's fire. So hold on. So that's you in the background on the vocals too, right?
mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, I love the touch of like like you turned your vocal into kind of like a sample, and then you introduced so many like instruments, but they played together really well. Talk about a little bit about kind of like the arrangement with some of like the Middle Eastern strings you put into there, and how did that come together?
Yeah. So I added a very special instrument to me. It's called the oud, and I feel like it's very underrated. It's like such an underrated instrument that can be
So
used to
underrated.
give like a vibe of a Dubai night or something.
I can't believe the oud does not like live in so much other popular music. Like it boggles my mind how that's not a thing. It's one of the best strings like you'll ever like just touching it evokes emotion. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's very special.
Yeah, yeah. And not a lot of strings do that, you know? Not a lot of strings do that. So you decided to put you put the oud in, and did you start what was the starting point of that beat? Was it the drums? Was it which instrument which part of the melody started that beat?
So I started with the pads,
Okay.
and then the oud,
And then the oud.
and
So
then
you,
the rest was like just me vibing to it, adding stuff that I found that really matched the energy.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that was another question is like a lot of producers are always, debating, drums first, melody first, what do you start with first? But because you are, you play instruments and you understand music theory, I would assume that you would start with the melody. You would start with some sort of expression of melody. So everything in there was original, played by you, right? No samples,
Yeah.
none of that, right? And that's that's super special. That's super special. A lot of producers take note. Take note. There's like a special there's a superpower in being able to create your own intellectual property. Your own ways of expression without like it's kind of like a shortcut. It's a shortcut to getting there. But not to say that I'm sure you've used samples and loops before in the past to kind of
Yeah.
build get inspired, right? And there's sometimes
Nothing wrong with that.
nothing wrong with that. Like a lot of people, especially when they're first like developing, you would in beat making. Did you start out like kind of practicing on top of some like pre-existing loops and stuff and melodies?
No, for me,
Not much. Okay.
I just
Yeah.
started everything
Yeah.
from scratch. But then
Right.
after that, I started adding a few samples because I found a lot of stuff that were like very high quality, and
Yeah,
they inspired me. It's all about what inspires you at the end, and if it doesn't matter if it's a sample, it's a sound, it's a feeling,
100%.
it's an instrument. So go
A
for
hundred,
it.
100%, 100%. I know a lot of producers that are, they play tons of instruments. They understand music theory. Sometimes they'll start with a sample, to start with a melody, and they'll create something, and then they'll throw that sample away in the beat and like replace it. They just use it as kind of like a template for the vibe, template for the
Yeah.
vibe, and then they may throw it away at the end of creating the beat. You know what I mean? So I thought that was a pretty cool concept. Now a lot of people do. I noticed that you're using so you're incorporating sounds from from your homeland, and these are melodies, and these are instruments that only come from this place, really. And how connected are you musically with Arabic music, and just and tell me, like, who are some of the artists that inspired, maybe your family inspired you, like, really, who were, because so many here in the western part of the world, sometimes we get kind of caught up in our little bubble of just our superstars here in America,
Yeah.
and like we forget that music lives all over the world, and there's been some bending of sounds and bending of notes that happen around the world that don't happen anywhere else. And so every kind of territory, every country has their the people that have innovated in music, right? That innovated and that spoke that language to the people of that region. So who were some artists that really spoke to you growing up, or now even, that you're just like, man, I love these people?
So yeah, so my favorite artists are they're called the Rahbani. They made the Fairuz's songs. Yeah, so
So the actual musicians of Fairuz, the people who wrote
yeah,
Fairuz's music.
yeah, and they're from her family.
Oh wow,
Yeah, and they
amazing.
introduced a bit of jazzy music into Arabic music, and it just sounds like a masterpiece to me. And my family and I are pretty much inspired by Middle Eastern instruments, Palestinian music. My father
Yeah.
actually tried to do something as well. He's a classical composer, modern. Um, but so he added the oud and the qanun instrument to an orchestra, and they played it live. Everything was classical music, but it was just like with these instruments touches, and it sounds amazing.
Okay, so you brought up one artist. Honestly, like, we could talk about so many other. Let's go step by step. Fairuz, who's like a queen. Okay, tell me. Give me one song of Fairuz that touched you, and I want to play a little bit of it on YouTube here.
Wait,
Tell me one that I can have the people check out.
that's so hard.
Wait, I know. Hold on. I know one.
Oh yeah, Kifak Inta is pretty nice. Which one do you like?
Um, let me see. I can't find a lot of it on YouTube. Okay. Okay, here's one. Let me just play something. Okay, yeah, you can hear the orchestra here. Okay, one second. I just wanted to give them a quick hint at the type of instrumentation that's happening here. You know what I mean?
عرفوا انك حبيبي. يا انا هرب الصيف، هربت على ايد الزينة، واذا ضيعني الهوى شي صيف.
I just wanted to give a little sample, just so people understand. Like, some man, there's an orchestra playing back there,
Yeah, but
right?
this one wasn't composed by them, but the arrangement.
No, okay, okay, yeah. But I'm just saying, but there, this music, this type of music, a lot of the artists like from that era performed with an orchestra.
Yeah.
Perform with an orchestra, which is ridiculous. Which is ridiculous. So, do you feel like we had these conversations and we were finding out like what's inspiring you? Do you feel that it's important for every producer, like no matter where they're from, to explore international music for inspiration? Do you feel like that's important? Like, I like the way that you've pulled in from Western music and hip hop, and you've been inspired by hip hop music and R&B and jazz, and you've been inspired by us over here. Like, do you feel it's just as important for creators and musicians here to connect with other cultures and music?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because you don't know where and from who you can get inspired, and sometimes you can learn about instruments that you've never even heard of, and they can add just so much to your beat, and in music in general, I think. For me, it was definitely like something hard at first because I was like, should I make
self-conscious a little bit, right?
Yeah, because I was like, should I make, a Drake type beat that just like only sounds like him or only sounds like, and I think it's very important to add your touch to the stuff that you make. And I don't always do that, but I like to keep it like a variety of sounds and things. Like some beats I'm very inspired by like a trap beat or an R&B sound, like The Weeknd. I'm very inspired by him. And sometimes I'm just like, I want to do my own thing. Like whatever sounds good to me, I want to do it. I have full control over this, so why not?
Do you ever feel any type of like pressure? Because you're saying you're like, okay, I don't want to make just the same, Drake type beat sound, right? That all the, not technically like, I mean, you are technically, but you're adding your twist to it. You're adding your twist to it. Did you ever feel any type of like insecurity? Like, oh, are people like other beat makers? If I incorporate music and instruments that they might not know in America, are they going to hate on me? Are they going to like it? Did you ever feel any type of like hesitation before sharing your music, or were you like, screw it? I want the world to know, like this is the sound where I come from.
Yeah, so I've always wanted to incorporate these sounds into my music. And here's the thing, like, I'm not putting it like in your face. Here's the oud only. I think I try to bring it up, in a way that it matches like other sounds that people are familiar with. So it's not like too weird to their ears.
Yeah, for sure. You're introducing it gracefully, like in a way where it's still digestible for any type of music fan, and that's great. And I'm sure by incorporating some of those kind of like melody structures from the Middle East as well too onto Western beats, it's a pretty cool fusion, like you guys just heard right there. All right, let's play one more song. Let's keep playing music.
Yeah, because that's all of my music is inspired by Middle Eastern. Like I have some trap stuff over there.
Yeah. Okay. So what are we gonna play next? What beat do you want me to play next?
Whatever you want.
Whatever I want. Okay. Cool. Let's pick a new one. Okay, guys.
Maybe the first one.
Wait. Let's play this one. Oh, this one's going crazy.
Yeah.
Be mine. Okay. Can you guys hear? Yeah.
Nour on the track. 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 Nour
Okay, that one is super dope. Super simple. Super simple, and I could just hear you banging on the keys. I can hear you. I can just see you banging, and with like the key, you can even hear some of the variation in in the keys that you're putting it. Like there's just some parts that are meant to get more emotional, and you're just like, do you sometimes just get lost? Sometimes you just get lost when you're playing the piano like that on a track like that. How do you approach that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Like,
I could.
yeah, so the piano is my key, so I'm the most comfortable playing it.
Mhm.
And then I get the most I get the most vibes when I'm playing stuff by The Weeknd. Like I should never do a cover by The Weeknd. Like I'm just like in my feelings there.
I know he's your favorite artist. He's your favorite artist.
Oh yeah.
And he's man, the way he or his team or him himself as an artist, I'm sure he is, but super underrated sound selector. Super underrated sound selector. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with who produces a lot of his stuff, but the way that he picks his beats, he does a great job. He does a great job. Like the whole album, if maybe the song is not every song isn't a hit record, but
Yeah.
majority of the beats he picks on the albums are just like, whoa, super dope, super dope. So he has a great talent. Now you said you've worked in the studio for some local artists, and you have your own studio. And when you're producing for them, or are you also are you like, how much of the production process are you really doing when you have an artist in the studio? And do you feel that those experiences, really going one-on-one with an artist, helps you kind of identify what to make for your beat store potentially, right? Like, is like those experiences, tell me a little bit about your role in the whole production part of those experiences, and how they've helped you with creating music.
So one thing definitely is I try to hear what they have to say when I'm producing something for them. So like I don't like to produce something, just me going all in with whatever I like. So I try to have them in that studio session with me, like, and tell me what they like, which sounds they're vibing to, and it gets like very different from each one to another. And sometimes I get inspired by someone's voice. There's this artist I've been working with lately, and I used her sound in my beat. I was like, yo, like your sound is amazing. Like she did something and she did not like it, and she was like, it doesn't belong to this track. And I'm like, okay, but I can add it to another one. So I mean, yeah, it depends.
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. And I like that you said when you're crafting music for the artist that you're working with in the studio, you're not crafting it for yourself, right? You're not crafting it for yourself. You're really you're really cooking up something special for what that artist is feeling, how they're the type of expression that they want to make, right? And selling beats online, it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same, but you got to kind of play psychologist in a way, for like understanding like the temperature of humans and what we're kind of like what we're going through, and the different experiences that we're all kind of having on the internet, in a sense, because the people that you're licensing to, that you're selling music to, are consumers from all over the globe. So tell me a little bit about like some feedback that you've had from artists that have bought beats from you on the internet. Has anyone like ever reached out after buying a beat? And do you know where they're coming from? Do you know, like, are you collaborating with artists outside of Palestine?
Yeah, so the first artist that bought my beat, he was a Palestinian as well, and I didn't know him before. It was just like coincidence, which was pretty cool. And I love like how people from all over the world, like you don't know.
But did he live in Palestine or did he live somewhere else?
He lived in Italy. Yeah. But yeah, it's just crazy that people from all over the world can just like hear a certain beat of yours and vibe to it and just create their art on top of it. It's just crazy to me, because coming from a hometown that is like where I live, my town is 80,000 population. Like, it's not a lot. Like, I wanted to reach more people, and by signing up to the platform, it was like very cool.
Yeah, and if you guys like are confused where Nour is from, there's this like one celebrity from this place that is like the most popular person in the world. He's really not he's just not a big deal, but his name is Jesus Christ. He's from he's from Nazareth. So that's where Nour is from, the holy city of Nazareth, which is amazing. It's amazing. Like that city is known by everyone in the whole world, even though there's only 80,000 people living there, but billions and billions of people know exactly where that city is from, especially from, all the stories in the Bible. But it's cool. So tell me, is because you come from like one of the holiest cities in the world, I guess, is there a lot of spiritual music that comes out of there? Is there music that's being created from a spiritual side, like choirs and full, like I don't know. Can you tell me a little bit about like how music plays a role in like the spiritual world there?
Well, every day on 7 a.m. There's a choir like singing, but it's like it's an audio, so it's not like actual people, but it's all over the neighborhood, like on 7 a.m., 12 p.m., and 7 p.m. So it's like the Holy Land is a holy land. It feels like one, yeah.
Yeah. It still gives you like you still have that feeling, like that special feeling about this place. Like this, there's history here. There's this culture, these people that have contributed to it. I'm sure it's incorporated into the everyday life of all the people there, and it also seems like, when I talk to more and more people, especially from Palestine, the more and more I hear about, Nazareth, being kind of like one of the epicenters for music, for Palestinian music as well too. Like it's really, when you hear about a lot of artists and musicians from different parts of Palestine, but Nazareth for some reason is like that's where the greats play. That's where the greats play from. That's where they learned all their chops, right?
Yeah.
So it's known for that. Mm-hmm. Is there and I think I've seen on your Instagram or something that I don't know, did you kind of like DJ for another artist one time or something at a live performance? Were you like, did you produce that song for that artist that was performing live there? Or tell me a little bit about that. I don't know much about the picture, but I just saw you up there. You look like a DJ. You look like
I was smashing the keys.
Oh, you're smashing the keys. Okay.
Yeah, it might look like a DJ. I get that comment a lot because whenever I'm playing the piano, I'm like all in it. But nice. No, I was playing the keys.
That's cool. Now, I've also noticed that you posted something one time. There was a quartet of strings, and you said you've written them. You've written, and I guess you've arranged a quartet. Tell me a little bit about that experience working with like writing music for multiple people playing an instrument, and then what are what was that music used for? Was it used for like theater, orchestra performance? What was that music used for?
So I wrote an arrangement during uni, and I wrote an arrangement for woodwinds, like a quartet of woodwinds and a quartet
woodwinds.
and I did a quartet of strings. And this year we're learning to write for the whole orchestra. So I think like in a year I'm gonna be having, luckily the opportunity to write for a whole orchestra, but not yet. I've been writing for like quartets and stuff like that, but it's pretty cool. Like, just also the thing that I posted, it was Prima Vista. So and they were so good. They were from a philharmonic group. So
Yeah,
insane.
the best. Wow, amazing. That's crazy. So what you keep talking about uni? Are you specifically going You're specifically going to a music school now, and what are some of the things that you're learning there?
So I'm learning in a music school, especially in composition, arrangements, and conducting. And I know that's completely different, but it's all connected somehow. And I just wanted to be
Just keep
able
telling
to,
yourself that. Just keep telling yourself it's all connected somehow.
yeah, but it is really. I even have like courses of score for films and stuff like that, and it's just like very interesting. Especially you talked about the psychological part of the industry and how you create music for others. There's a psychological effect as well that you have to consider, and it just emphasizes on that with conducting, conducting like that.
Yeah.
It's all about psychology there.
Yeah.
And also for the film industry, like a scene of a mom hugging her daughter, just like
Right.
running to hug. If you put a sad music over it, you're gonna get sad. If you put a happy music over it, you're gonna know like it's a happy moment. If a suspicious music is there, you're gonna know, okay, maybe something is gonna happen right now.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I'll tell you where exactly how it's going to it benefits you, and how it's going to benefit you in like the music producing part of it is that you're going to there's going to be like, as you start, you're still young in making beats and putting up beats and selling beats, right? You've sold some, but you haven't sold at scale yet, right? So once you start seeing kind of like the trends in what people really want from you, you have to be able to tap into that similar emotion that you were in when you've made those other beats to continue kind of feeding your audience. Not to say that you're not going to make other diverse music and you're not going to add different stuff to your catalog, but there's always going to be, and I've seen this happen with, I have 13 years, right? Some of the best producers on the platform is that they figure out a way to kind of tap in to what they're known for and what makes them really successful, and then start really trying to find a spectrum of ways to express that same emotion, right? But in different ways. And it could be like the polar opposite, like happy and sad. And you could still get the same effect actually sometimes. So that's what you're going to be challenged with as a producer online. You're always going to be, sometimes you're going to be, whether you like it or not, people are going to tell you who you are with your music. And they're going to say, and thousands, hopefully God willing, thousands of people are going to tell you, Nour, you are the best niche of this, right? You're the best niche of this. And the best producers know when to detect when that starts happening, and really starts honing in on those sounds and those skills, right? That's what ends up making you carve out a certain like lane in your journey of making music. Because what are we in this to do, right? Like a lot of people say, Abe, I'm not seeing success, right? I'm not seeing this, and I go and I listen to their music, and it's all over the place. There's no identity. there's no identity, right? And it's all over the place. So the faster you can figure out a way to, and you'll through time, to really find what your identity is at the end of the day, the goal is having our music heard by as many people as possible. The music is bigger than us, than what we want and what we want to do. It's about the music fulfilling, fulfilling as many hearts as possible, right? So, yeah, and that's just advice for you guys in the chat too. So that's, but Nour, let's get into another track. I think Rock 5 suggested one. He said, what did he say? I forget. But is there another one? Let's go. Let me pick another one. They're all good.
Nour on the track. Nour on the track. Nour on the track.
Such a vibe. You get it, like you said. You're in your feelings. Yeah, I can tell. You're in your feelings. That's good though. You're expressing that stuff out there. It's really important because, tell me a little bit about that track. Tell me how that one came together. When did you make that one?
I made it actually this week, and I started with the chorus as usual.
That vocal sample hits a little different.
Okay, so that vocal sample, I first recorded it on my phone because I wasn't at home when it came to me. Yeah, so I first recorded it on my phone, and just like in my phone I usually have like a bunch of voice memos because sometimes I'm just like not at home and then a melody pops up and I'm like, I don't want to forget that no matter where I am, even if I'm in a restaurant, no matter where. I record that in my phone, and then as soon as I get home, I record that, in the studio.
That's cool. Okay, so you were saying that it started out with the melody, or did that vocal sample come later?
The vocal sample came later, so I started with the.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's just about like vibing to your own beat, and then you add stuff like depending on what that beat of yours made you, feel, what kind of vibes it gave you. Just like I think you told me one time to just like hum to it and see where it goes.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. You know, you got to tap into your songwriter side. So like you clearly are, using your voice as an instrument. You're clearly, using your voice kind of to tap into where things should go. How things should just like, I don't know, just feel at a certain moment. You're using your voice to do that. Tell us a little bit. When did you, or I don't know if this is something you do much, but when did you start writing like words, lyrics, songs? When did you start doing that and using and doing vocals?
So when I first started playing with, the DAWs and the VSTs, I actually wanted to write songs for myself, but I don't consider myself a singer, and I didn't want to pursue that as well. So it was always confusing for me because I wanted to write music, I wanted to write songs, but I don't want to sing. I don't want to sing my songs. Like it's not my goal in life to be a singer and perform. Like so, but it wasn't very clear for me that writing songs and making beats and becoming a producer is what I wanted until I have experience of stuff. Um, and yeah, I guess I've always been writing songs. It started with like a bunch of unfinished projects, just like a melody came up, I sang, and then I would close that, start a new project, and then one day I just wanted to, finish those.
Yeah. 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 I mean, so many, I think producers have started that way. So many producers, I hear about it all the time. Like, yeah, I started as a rapper. But I didn't, that wasn't my calling, but I wanted to make music. I wanted to make music, and it got them into producing because it technically, like, these beats you guys are making are songs. They're songs. They're fully fleshed out ideas and compositions. So it still can give you that fulfillment of making songs without actually like having to perform it, and other people that record on it can perform it for you. Spread the word for you, which is really really cool.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to ask you before we get into like a couple more tracks. Your dad is an intriguing person. The way I've talked to you about him, and he's an intriguing person. He's involved not just like from the music side. And shout out to Amo out there. Shout out to Amo. but like he also is on the technology side and on the production side with like audio processing, and
Yeah.
he's making his own VSTs because he understands what natural music should be sounding like, and he sees a void. And I'll let you talk about it a little bit, but he sees a void in these organic sounds on the processing side with everything being so digital. Tell me a little bit about your dad's company. It's called VST Live, right?
Yeah. So my father, he came from two industries, the music industry and computer science. He was coding, and he wanted to make a plugin that just makes acoustic MIDI sound way better because even if you're not a musician and you don't know how like a violin should be, when the violin should use a vibrato, when should it be legato, when should it, I don't know, all of these stuff for it to sound like an actual like violin player. And so he created this plugin. It's going to be out next year that just turns it into a performance. Yeah.
Super interesting. Can't wait for that. Can't wait for that. Can't wait for check it out, guys. VSTlive.com, and keep up with the progress of that plugin. I'm sure you guys are going to need it. You guys are going to need it. All right, let's get into one more track, maybe two, before we head out. And then you gotta. Oh wait, I have another question, but let's get into this track first. As good as this is what the people want.
This is another Middle Eastern one. Yeah.
Okay, let's start that over.
Nour on the track. Nour on the track.
Yeah, that's another one of my favorites too. That's another one of my favorites too.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, the oud on that one. You're, and it's crazy. People don't know that you're playing that on the keys, right?
Oh yeah, it's all about key switches. So, nothing's gonna sound real if you're gonna play the same volume, the same. It's just not gonna sound real. So I did use
It
key
sounds
switches.
so real to me. It sounds so real to me. How do you approach that, and how do you achieve yeah, talk about the key switches.
Yeah. So whenever I have like a legato, like a longer note, I would use some vibrato on that, like like that. And then when I have shorter notes, I would just make it a bit more staccato, like so it would suit, like an actual player. And I feel like also getting to know the key that you're gonna use also helps choosing which key switches to use at which time.
Yeah, guys, in the comments, tell Noor if you want her to make a loop kit of all those oud melodies for you guys. If you guys want a loop kit of all these like samples, tell Noor in the comments. Let's get her to make one ASAP for you guys. Oh yeah, well let's talk a little bit about that though, because you have been focusing on making some samples. You've signed up. I think have you signed up with BeatStars Publishing already, or
Yeah, I did.
yeah. Okay, so you're signed up with BeatStars Publishing. You're making samples, and how do you feel like as a musician? That's like how has that challenged you? And have you always like approached that part of the business too as a sound designer? Because there's a lot of people that are in demand sample makers. There's tons of them, right? And so, but because it's so niche and it's so unique to hip hop that having those kind of like samples is really really big for creativity. So tell me a little bit about what you're cooking up over there, and how are you? What are you doing with samples? Are you gonna be making a lot more of them, you think?
Yeah, so I'm definitely working on some loop samples. I'm trying to make it like a variety. At the end of the day, it's not because like, oh, okay, let me do another sample pack. If you have something that you can share, go for it. If you're good at something, do a sample pack, even if it's just like, I don't know, a sample pack of 808s or a sample, like one sample pack of kicks. If you feel like you are doing that in an amazing way and you want to share it, like, why not?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's all about collaboration. You know, it's all about collaboration and inspiring each other, right?
Exactly.
And and regarding collaboration, how have since you're pretty new to the BeatStars community, but some of your music, you know, is people are seeing it on the platform. How have you felt the community? You've been a part of our like educational sessions. You've really like ingrained yourself in the BeatStars platform. How are you like, what's your feeling about like this community that you're a part of now?
So I've been on here for 6 months on BeatStars. I joined it in May, and so far, and I'm not just saying that, to be honest, like I've never signed up for a platform and got that much positive energy from it. Like no matter where, you're gonna see hate and negativity, but here it's like producers are supporting each other, and artists, rappers, songwriters, and even the BeatStars community, you guys, like it's just like such a supportive platform. And that's what I like the most about it. Like,
Thank you, Nour. I mean, yeah, that's something we're really, really proud of. Like more than like anything else, more than anything else we've done, we're more proud of this collective, like positive music movement that we've helped foster and, continue to like nurture. It's beautiful. There's so much negativity in the world and there's so much hate. And so, we decided to not adopt that and really like try to form a people powered music community that helps each other, that supports each other, that gives each other advice, gives each other, encouragement, collaborates. It's something really rare. And, sometimes as, I've been doing this for so long as a CEO, sometimes I forget like just how beautiful it is for you young people to, to get together and do stuff. It's great. It's great. Okay, let's listen to one more before we get out. And is there anyone in particular you want to play as the last one?
Let's see.
And guys, you could find the Sunday Sounds playlist on Nour's profile. Check her out. It's Nour on BeatStars. Just search for Nour.
I like the Pride one.
Pride? All right, let's do it.
Nour on the track.
Oh my gosh. I might have a new favorite. I might have a new favorite. Is that new? You're on mute. Hold on, let me unmute you. Sorry.
Yeah, it's
Is
new.
that that's new? Whoa, your mixes are getting so much better too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Yeah, that's good. No, like, when I first heard, your music on a platform, um, it's definitely to see your progression from that first moment until like kind of where you are now. So congrats on continuing to work hard and, you know, getting better at the things you need to get better at. I thought that was amazing. The vocals on that one too. Is that more vocals of yours in there too?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. You're
thank
using a
you.
lot of cool effects. Yeah. All right. Well, Noor, listen. Just so the people know out there, Noor is making one of my dreams come true by having someone from my homeland of Palestine that I love so dearly much be on this platform and express my people's music and culture in a cool Western way. So Noor, thank you for being part of this community and really like showing off, doing great, and continued success to you. And I hope we keep seeing your name ring bells.
Thank you for the opportunity and for having me. I know my English isn't the best, but I hope I was clear.
You're great.
And
You did
yeah,
great.
I hope that the people who are watching this had as much fun as I did.
Cool. Well, Nour, thank you so much. You guys check out Nour on BeatStars, Nour. Search for Nour, find her music, support her. Give her some love. And also, a couple announcements. Make sure you guys go download and stream our bro Dream Life Beats' his new beat tape that came out on Spotify. It's called, oh my gosh, he's gonna kill me. I was just listening to it. What's the name of it? It is called As the Night Falls. As the Night Falls on your favorite DSP, Spotify. Man, it's a vibe, guys. Like, go support Dream Life's new release with BeatStars. It's dope. Check it out. And sign up for text alerts. Sign up for text alerts so you guys get notified every time we have one of these live sessions. BeatStars.world/live. Sign up for text alerts. Nour, thank you so much. Have a great night. Sorry we kept you up so late. But it was a pleasure talking to you, and we'll keep our eye on you. Thank you, Nour.
Thank you for having me.